Hello YouTube. So just going over the 55-gallon tank here. Done some changes here. It looks like the water has cleared up quite a bit. We're pretty much as good as we're going to be at this stage, which is what, 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in. Now, what I've done, because of the sand being so gentle and getting so dirty so quick, I've added these white pieces of gravel to some actually landed on the ship, but I added this yesterday and I cleaned up the sand, so you can have a look and see how cool it looks. And someone's been digging a giant hole under the ship here. I think my loaches are trying to move in under the ship. Basically, they've moved in somewhere under the ship. I haven't seen them. They must be night fish, because they don't come out during the day at all. So that's what it looks like right now. The plant is definitely doing good. I left the light on all day yesterday and all night. Because of my work schedule, I don't have the ability to keep the lights on as long as I wanted to, so I had to make up a little bit of time. And notice that there's a little baby plant on the left now that grew out, so definitely a suitable environment for the plants. So that's why I mentioned in my other video, we're ready to add some plants now. So that's the biggest update. Now, I did use that battery sand sifter tool that I used in my other video to clean the sand. Oh, it looks like I lost one little guy there. Okay, we'll have to clean that up. But fish are still vulnerable, but they are doing extremely well. So the toughest fish will survive. There's always one that won't make it, but that's unfortunate. It's the way it is when you buy fish. But the aquarium is looking great. The water quality is extremely good. It's nice and clean. And that's that tank. Now for this tank, I noticed in my other video that Benjamin had a hard time breathing, and what I've done originally is I've taken this bubbler out that's in the back there, and I've left him with this one bubbler down here, which was not sufficient for this big amount of fish. I mean, it was sufficient, but not very good. So if you see in my other video where there's a close-up of Benjamin, he's having a hard time breathing, and that I realized was because of the bubbler. I thought it was originally because of the pH, but no, definitely because of the bubbler. So you can see he's breathing normally and swimming around like he should be, versus just sitting at the top like he was. But that's something you need to watch out for, is if your fish are just swimming at the top and you can see that they're breathing very heavily, good indication you need to add more air to your tank. So nobody got hurt, everything's good, and that's because I tried to cheat a little bit originally, and I split the air bubbler. This is actually from the big tank here, so I split it so that one goes here and the other one was stayed there, but it wasn't enough. So now I added a second bubbler over here, and that's a separate bubbler. So if one goes out, there's always one in the big tank, so I run less of a risk of losing any fish there. So that's that. Let me take you quickly. Let me block the camera. Sorry about that, but it makes it faster for me to kind of show you. Now this is the guppy fry, and there's literally a ton of them everywhere, and they were fed a little bit ago, so they're just kind of swimming around the decorations too. I think there's over 30, but we'll see as they grow up. Now with this white sand that I've added to the big sand tank, with time, it does get dirty. And even if I clean it, there's no way to really clean it. So in this tank, I haven't been able to do a ton of water changes because of the fry fish. I don't want to disturb them as they grow. So, but moving on, I'll just show you all my other fish. They're just like they were, nice and happy in this tank. That couple is doing good. So is this blue couple. And in my other tank, the red ones are happy. And so are these guys here. I have to look in there, but they're all good. And as you can see, these guys are doing great. And this is the algae tank. Now I've been slowly removing the algae from here and taking some and just throwing it in Benjamin's tank, because some of those fish down there, they absolutely love algae because it's a corner and nothing grows for algae in Benjamin's tank. So the lighting and everything is just not suitable for algae. So I cultivate it here and feed it to Benjamin, and it's been working really good, and it looks nice too. The sides are getting there. I want all of the sides to be nice and green now. I did keep the light off on these guys a little bit more to keep the algae in check, and that's why you see a lot less today, simply because compared to my other video, because the light wasn't on as much in this tank. So and then in here, I don't know if I've showed you guys, but I got this new white guppy, and I'm trying to breed him with this female, and for some reason they're hiding from me right now, but that's what's going on there. Now this is the old tank where my angelfish were, and it's just cycling. The filter's going. I've been adding water, making sure the levels are good. I don't know what I will put into this tank. It's completely empty, but I'm waiting for some guppies from the guppy tanks to grow up. Maybe throw them in here. We'll see how that goes. Now I did take the air bubbler out of this tank and put it in Benjamin's tank because he was suffocating. So I had to fix that situation rather quick. Just want to show you a shot at these guys because they look really cool. And as you can see, the little ones just this little female on the left is one of the slowest growing fish I've ever seen. I've been feeding it with some flakes. Nothing did the trick. It wasn't growing. The minute she was added to this algae tank, she went through a big growth spurt. So she's been just, I don't think she's eating the flakes. I think she's just pecking away at the algae. And she is now nice and big. And she should be, because she was just about as big as these guys when they were little fries. And she never grew until I put her here. She looked like a fry like less than a week ago. And she was like that for like at least, I think, a month until she started eating algae. So some fish just need live food like algae for her. So that's the update. As you can see, I'm really into this algae tank because what I was thinking of doing and this is a precursor maybe of things to come. I was thinking of growing the algae out quite a bit, just like in the other videos. So I would maybe leave the light on for a little bit longer and grow it out. And then what I was going to do is get some of these plecos. And there's Max in my video here. He's got to be in the video. So what I was thinking is put a pleco in there on one side, like one of these smaller suction plecos, not the big ones, and see how he does. See if there is a drastic difference between one side and the other. So stay tuned for that as I gently build up this algae so that it's tough on the glass, not just a loose algae that just gets picked off. I want it to be like a nice algae carpet there, so that if I put the pleco in, he's not just going to be able to eat it in a week or in a day. So what we're going to do is try and do that, grow this nice carpet out of algae, and then we're going to try and test the pleco, or maybe different kinds of plecos. Who knows? Well, I don't want to end up with a lot of plecos, but there are these smaller ones I'll show you guys that in another video that I'll probably get. And we'll see how good they are at cleaning, if they are really good or not. So that's it for the update. And Max, as usual, landed on the camera. Leave your comments, subscribe to my channel, keep your fish happy, keep a good eye on them, as you saw with Benjamin there. Even though it looked obvious, until I clued in, I did not know that there was something wrong, that he didn't have enough air in his tank. So air is super important. These air bubblers, like you see there, extremely important. Good luck. Talk to you guys next time.